Hey guys, this is Red and Blue, and it is it. The big game is coming up. Win or face the night. There's no safety net, no plan B, no more games after it. It is win or lose. The return of our playoff in the Champions League against Monaco tomorrow night, as I record this, 8:45 p.m. Paris time in the Parc des Princes. PSG Monaco, the return of our playoff round. And yeah, win or face the night. Those are the odds. So let's just dive into it and talk about what to expect in this game. Big game. Obviously, it's a Champions League. It's a knockout round return game. So the odds are high as they get. So yeah, we need to do a job. We need to do it well. The first game in Monaco gave us the lead. We came away with the win, but also posed a lot of questions of these PSG teams, questions that we partially answered, but which might come back to us. And I think, honestly, like as we get into this game and as we gear up for it, personally, like I'll just state up front, like I'm relatively confident, but not complacent. And I think that's really going to be the key for this PSG team, is that we need to do a job. We cannot afford to go into this game thinking like, oh, it's only a League One opponent. Oh, we won the first game. Oh, we're more talented on paper. If we give an inch, if we give any space, if we give any opportunity to this Monaco team, we'll get knocked out. Of this, I am absolutely certain. But at the same time, and I think that's where I'm confident, I think this PSG team is experienced enough in the Champions League, has faced this sort of situation before, and has the advantage of a one-goal lead, has the advantage of being at home, has the advantage of being the stronger side on paper, and if you look at the player, and so there's a lot of things in our camp as well. And so I think at the end of days, it's going to be a tough game. It's going to be close fought, but I think we have more than what it takes to make it through to the next round. In the end, I think we've seen in the first leg, and we've seen in Monaco's game against Lens this weekend, that it's not a team to be trifled with, that they have the individual talent to really create trouble for us. They created chances in the game in Monaco by trying to push into our side and operate a high press and not play the waiting game. They managed to score 2 goals in the first 15 minutes, despite not having control of the ball, not having a lot of opportunities. They were very, very lethal on the counters. They managed to find space at the heart of our defense, with some of our players caught napping. And just, it's the kind of mistakes that we can't afford to make. I think, when you look at a player like Balogun, for example, yes, we need to be mindful because, again, I do expect us to have control of the game, but they do have the forwards to be able to really create problems for us on the counter. From Camara in the midfield to Vanderson on the side on fullback, Akliouche up front on the side up front, and then Balogun as number 9, who's is not the top number 9 in the world, but give him some space, and Marquinhos paid to learn. You're not catching him back. You're just not catching him back. So we're going to have to be very precise. We're going to have to be very focused, and we're going to have to really not give this Monaco team an inch of space and an inch of opportunity. And I think ultimately, looking at what this game is going to be like, I do expect somewhat of a repeat of the games that we had in Monaco, because it's typically the kind of games that PSG plays. I do expect us to be in control. I do expect us to have the possession. I do expect us to be playing in their half. I do expect us to drive the game and drive what's going to be happening in it. But at the same time, I think this Monaco team, can create trouble if they try to push us back. They're gonna have a hard time to do it, but they're definitely gonna try. And they do have the weapons to go very fast on the counter and create trouble. And I think, if they manage, and it's a big if again, but like if they manage to create the right set of circumstances, score a goal early or like hold us to a draw and like just a 1-goal lead up till late in the game, create a bit of chaos, all of a sudden like the temper rises, we're not in control anymore, like that's the place where anything can happen. So I think mentally we're gonna have to be very focused. I'm very, in a way, like reassured by the Metz game, even if Metz was obviously like a way weaker opposition. But the fact that we managed to really be in control of the scenario of this game, score a goal early, score the second goal before halftime, control the game, don't give up an inch, don't give up any opportunity, and just cruise control to a comfortable win. That's exactly what the best scenario we could hope for this Monaco game. Obviously, any sort of win will be good. Any sort of draw will be good enough. But I think, given where we are at, given like what this team has produced in recent weeks and so on, it's a chance to like, be clear. I'm not saying like, I'm not expecting the 7-0 wins that we had against Brest last season. I've said it time and time again now, like last season is last season, and that's really not my expectation. This Monaco team is wildly different from what Brest was last year, and even PSG is wildly different than what we were last year. So I'm not expecting like that big of a goal difference or of a score line, but I think if we manage to just be in control of the game for the full 90 minutes, not have any drama in terms of mentality and in terms of the scenario and in terms of our defense, not give away control and so on, then like that's good enough for me. And like if that happens, we make it through. There's no question, because at the end of the days, for all of the qualities and the strengths and what this Monaco team can do, they're also a team that's prone to mistake in defense. They're a team that has a lot of injured players, and so they don't have a lot of depth. They just got out of playing in Lens 3 days ago, a very tight and intense game, straight after, like 3 days after playing us in the first round. They don't have the opportunities to rotate a lot of players. So ultimately, like, we should be in the driver's seat, we should be in control, and we should be winning this game. And that is absolutely my expectation for it as well. In terms of starting 11, let's just try to go into a little bit more concrete way of looking at the game. For PSG, it's relatively straightforward. We know who's gonna play. I think like there's no real drama or question mark. It's gonna be Safonov in goal. It's gonna be our usual back four of Nuno Mendes, Pacho, Marquinhos, and Hakimi. In midfield, we're gonna have Warren Zaire-Emery, Vitinha, and João Neves. I do hope, and I'm keeping an eye out, I do hope that tactically we see Neves dropping down into the number 6 position and Vitinha playing further up on the pitch, especially if we're really in control of the game. So that's going to be something that I'm going to be looking at tactically, and I really hope so. I think it make a big difference in our ability to both control the game and offer nothing defensively, but also create more chances for ourselves higher up on the pitch. So I'm going to be looking at that. And then up front, probably Barcola on the left, Doué in the middle, and Vara on the right. Dembele is looking like he's not going to be fit for this game. Dembele actually is out of contention. He's not part of the group for this game. So he's not going to be part of it. And so it's going to be I think it's going to be this front three. very, very tiny question mark around Doué because like he looked like he might have a little bit of something against Metz, but he got subbed off at halftime and went on of this way to say he was fine. So I think he'll probably be up for it. And I think in the middle, Doué, it's a very exciting position for him. And then for Monaco, the big question mark for Monaco, and we talked about it ahead of the first game in Monaco, is how they're going to shape up tactically. And whether in the first game they played a 4-2-3-1, but they also oftentimes play in a 3-4-3 formation. And it looks like right now that's kind of the trend and what they might be looking at. If so, it'd be Kerrer, Zakaria, and Fes in defense, with Kern in goal. Venderson, Camara, and Zakaria, and Caio Henrique as the line of four with the two fullback. Akliouche and Adingra just below Balogun. Kind of makes sense. They don't have their usual number 10 who got a red card against us in the first leg. They've got the benefit of wait, I said Zakaria twice, right? It'd be Kerrer, Face, and which was the other? I forget. Give me a second. AS Monaco. It is Fez. They've got so many players injured as well. It's crazy. So like, got to reach on Jordan Teze. I expect would be the third one playing in defense. So Jordan Teze along with Kerrer and Woodface. As the back three, Venderson, Caio Henrique on the way. Yeah, Camara, Zakaria, Akliouche, Adingra, and Balogun. Yeah, makes a lot of sense. I can kind of see that happening. Honestly, like I'm slightly skeptical. I don't think the players necessarily change, but I think the tactic, it would make probably a little bit more sense for them to play in a 4-2-3-1, just because they've got the one goal deficit, and so like they need to try to create something. They can't just afford to stay back. At the same time, they scored 2 goals in the first game, like basically with nothing at all. So creating something is not necessarily the way to score goal against PSG. And yes, since they don't have Golovin, obviously they've got a gap in number 10. And so that's something that they're going to have to take into account. Bright news for Monaco, though, Akliouche, who's obviously, a big part of their offensive plans, actually sat out of the game against Lens. So he's actually fresh for this game, and something like a rare player who had an opportunity to rotate. So yeah, we'll see. I think tremendously exciting game. It's knockout round in the Champions League, so there's nothing better than this. And yeah, I do think it's a strong opponent, it's a strong team. We've seen it. They can create trouble for us from not much. It feels a lot like kind of a lower version of Aston Villa last year. Like the team where your favorite and you're supposed to go through, but at the same time, like the difference is not as big as a lot of people think, and not as big as what the media make it and the environment make it. So it's so easy to like make a tiny mistake and just let the results slip through your fingers. I think the gap is probably wider, obviously, with Monaco than it was against Aston Villa last year. But remember, like we came very, very close from getting knocked out of the Champions League. So we cannot afford any complacency. We need to give it our all. We need to be 110%. And hopefully that's what we're going to get from this PSG team. In terms of predictions for this game, like I said, I think I'm relatively optimistic. One data point that's kind of moderating my hopes. There is only one game in the Champions League this season where we did not concede a goal, and that was Atalanta back a long time ago. So I do see this Monaco team scoring, but I think we managed to make it through. I think like relatively comfortably. I think I see like a 2-1 or 3-1 in the end. And I see us scoring first, maybe the equalize, and then in the second half, like we score the second one relatively early, and kind of put the game like beyond doubt in the dying moments. So 3-1 in the end. We make it through like 6-3 on aggregate. I'll be pretty happy with that, and we can look at the next round and look at the draw and see what happens next. So that would be my predictions for it. It's going to be edge of your seat, a bit of football for sure. I think like let's get ready for some rough moments. Remember the first game we were like 2-0 down with a missed penalty and Dembele out after 20 minutes, and all of us thought we were going to get kicked out of the Champions League already. So get ready for the emotional roller coaster again. Anything can happen. But yeah, I think in the end, win or out, we've got what it takes. I think the players are up for it. They know the stakes. They know the Champions League. They want to go back to back. They want to stay in this competition. They want to go as far as possible. So I expect this PSG team to really like show us what they're made of and show the best of what we've seen them do this season. So I'll go for the win. It's not win or out, it's win, win, win. That's what we want. Anyway, let me know in the comment what you make of this, what's your prediction for this game, what's your expectation for it, what's your degree of confidence as well, / degree of stress. Are we all, shaking in our boots ahead of a game against Monaco? Beyond that, as always, please drop a like in the video if you've made it this far. Massively useful. Please subscribe to the channel. And even if you're subscribed, just check that you clicked on the bell just below the video. I've heard people around me say that they don't necessarily get my videos anymore in feed. So if you really want to not miss the next video, you need to hit the bell to get notified. Super important that you do, so please do that. And as always, in the Champions League, don't forget, for the win, ici c'est Parc!